He says Diddy offered him a wad of cash, enough to fit between his thumb and his pinky, to stay quiet about the incident.
The defense introducing scores of text messages during cross-examination that contain a mix of affection, sexually charged banter, domestic negotiation, and bickering.
The jury saw for the first time direct material from these so-called freak-offs that she says she was forced to endure.
Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following breakdown is based on ongoing court proceedings and established media reports concerning the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Key testimony from Cassie Ventura was made public around mid-May 2025. Certain explicit details might be described generally to keep things YouTube-friendly. Remember, all individuals mentioned, including Sean Combs, are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
All right, buckle up, tea-sippers, because the music world is shook, and Sean Diddy Combs' legacy is hanging by a thread thinner than his last alibi. What's unfolding in a New York courtroom right now isn't just celebrity drama, it's a legal firestorm with his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at the very center and her testimony. It's wild. Seriously, guys, some of this is heavy, so brace yourselves. We're going to walk through what's been said, what it means, and why this trial is more than just headlines. So, the star witness, the one everyone's been waiting for, Cassie Ventura, took the stand. And let me tell you, the courtroom reportedly went from buzzing to dead silent. Imagine, 8 months pregnant, walking past the man she dated for over a decade, a man she hasn't seen in 6 years, to testify against him in a federal sex trafficking and racketeering case. The tension? You could cut it with a diamond-encrusted knife. For 4 days, Cassie laid out her story. She met Diddy when she was just 19, an aspiring musician. He was 17 years older, already a larger-than-life figure. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Oh, because that's never gone sideways in Hollywood before. She testified that pretty quickly, things took a turn. We're talking alleged control over every part of her life. Her rent, her car, her phone, all allegedly dangled like carrots or taken away as punishment. And then, according to her testimony, came the violence. She spoke about an alleged attack where he threw her onto the corner of a bed, slashing her eyebrow, an injury, she says Diddy, then had a plastic surgeon secretly fix. There was another alleged incident at a party, her cowering behind a toilet while he allegedly kicked her head. The courtroom even saw photos. Some onlookers were reportedly in tears, folks. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg, if you can believe it. A huge part of her testimony focused on what she called freak-offs. According to Cassie, Diddy introduced these about a year into their relationship. We're talking alleged encounters where male escorts were hired to have sex with her while Diddy allegedly watched and recorded. At first, she said she did it to make him happy. Classic. But over time, she testified these encounters humiliated her, sometimes lasting for days, allegedly requiring her to take drugs to stay awake. She described injuries, blacking out, feeling worthless, and these freak-offs becoming, in her words, a job. Hundreds of them, she estimated. Just let that sink in for a moment. And remember that infamous hotel surveillance video from 2016, released by CNN last year, showing Diddy allegedly beating and dragging Cassie in a hallway? Yeah, that video. Millions have seen it. Well, Cassie testified that incident happened after she tried to leave one of these alleged freak-offs. She had to rewatch that abuse multiple times in court this week. Talk about re-traumatization. Now, you might be thinking this is a horrific domestic violence case, and Diddy's own lawyers have apparently conceded he was abusive. They've reportedly said they wouldn't have fought a domestic violence case. But here's the kicker. Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson and the federal government aren't just charging him with being a bad boyfriend. Oh no. The charges are racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. This is big league stuff. The prosecution is trying to weave Cassie's story into this larger narrative. They're asking about guns, about alleged blackmail. Cassie testified Diddy once pulled up videos of their freak-offs on a commercial flight in view of others and allegedly threatened to release them if she didn't behave. I felt trapped, she told the court. That feeling of being trapped, that fear of what would happen if they didn't comply, as one lawyer put it, is crucial. It's about coercion versus consent. Did she consent, or was she coerced into complying? That's the million-dollar question. And the racketeering part? That's about Diddy allegedly using his network, his employees, his whole enterprise to carry out and cover up these alleged crimes. Cassie testified about security guards allegedly standing by during abuse, about employees allegedly setting up freak-offs with supplies and booking travel for escorts. They're trying to paint Diddy not just as an abuser, but as the head of a criminal operation. Of course, Diddy's team isn't just sitting there taking notes. His lawyer, Anna Estevao, came out swinging during cross-examination. Their strategy? To paint a picture of a toxic, complicated relationship fueled by drugs and jealousy, with Cassie as a willing participant in the freak-offs, not a victim of trafficking. They brought out text messages, hundreds of pages of them, texts where Cassie allegedly said she was always ready for a freak-off or wished they could have had one. Cassie acknowledged writing them, but added they were just words at that point. Oof. They also hammered on infidelity. Diddy with Kim Porter, Cassie allegedly dating Kid Cudi during a break, and drug use, highlighting that both struggled with opioid addiction. The defense seems to be arguing, yes, it was messy, it was violent, it was complicated. But racketeering? Sex trafficking? Nah. They even got Cassie to admit she didn't think Diddy's employees actually witnessed the freak-offs, trying to poke holes in that racketeering enterprise theory. So, what we have here is a high-stakes game of he said, she testified, with the federal government backing her claims. Diddy, surrounded by his family and friends in court, is watching his empire, his carefully crafted image, potentially crumble before his eyes. The aura of sadness described in the courtroom isn't just about Cassie, it's about the unraveling of a music mogul. This trial isn't just about Diddy and Cassie anymore. It's about power, control, consent, and the dark underbelly that can exist behind the glittering facade of fame. It's about whether a jury will see a pattern of criminal enterprise or a deeply dysfunctional, albeit abusive, relationship. The prosecution is worried their star witness could go into labor any day now, adding another layer of drama to this already cinematic trial. Judge Arun Subramanian is pushing to keep things on schedule, but really, the schedule is the least of Diddy's worries right now. So, as Cassie's testimony wraps and the defense digs in, the world watches. Is this the definitive downfall of a titan, a man who defined an era of music and culture? Or is this a tragic story of a toxic love affair being spun into something more by prosecutors? It's a lot to process, right? One thing's for sure, the truth, whatever it may be, is fighting its way to the surface, one tearful testimony and aggressive cross-examination at a time. And the question that's really on everyone's mind, will Diddy's empire survive this? Or is this the final curtain call? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, respectfully, of course.